Hey folks, Dave here. Another Facebook question here today from Paul. Paul writes, Dave, I have a question for you. Why is there so much gridlock in Congress? Why is there so much partisan posing and bickering going on? I'm getting frustrated with everybody in the district, and it's getting to where it doesn't matter who belongs to what party. Just like to hear your comments. Thanks. Well, Paul, I share your frustration. I think a lot of people do. There's politics as usual has devolved into something that is more partisan bickering and more gridlock than anything else. Ultimately, what our government is supposed to be about is serving the people and meeting the people's needs. But then you see something like this healthcare bill where the Democrats are trying to ram something through that a majority of Americans don't want, but luckily the Republicans are standing up to it. So I would argue slightly your point about there not being any difference between the two parties. I think there is. But the crux of your question, I think, revolves around what's going on with politics as usual and career politicians. And why do we have people putting special interest and hidden agendas ahead of serving the people, which is what they're supposed to do in government? And that is a problem. And unfortunately, we've seen politics devolve to a point where, over the last several decades, politicians have looked at service in Washington more as a career than as a sacrifice, more as a career than service. And that needs to change. And until that changes, until we start sending different people to Washington who actually are there for the sacrifice, for the service, for the duty to country, then we're going to have more of the same. Politics as usual will never change them. And you'll continue to be frustrated. So this is an interesting election cycle. We've got an opportunity to make a specific change and get rid of a lot of career politicians and send some new blood to Washington. And I think if we do that, we'll see a change, and it'll be a lot less frustrating for you. Well, thanks for your question, Paul. I look forward to hearing from you soon.